Okay, this is my cat Cheese. I wanted to get him in profile with his face, but he's really comfortable and I don't want to mess that up. But I wanted to prove that I have a cat who loves belly rubs and wouldn't mind me doing it while I talk about 40k lore. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Cult Mechanicus, which is my favorite aspect of 40k lore because I think it's the most believable. Mostly because of how people treat science in today's culture. I used to explain 40k to people, at least the Cult Mechanicus aspect of it, by asking them to explain how a battery worked. Most people can't do it, and I would point that out saying, this is a real proven bit of technology that you rely on every day. You're surrounded by it, but if you can't explain to me how it works, if a catastrophe happened, for example, how do you recreate it? But we live in an age where, we have anti vaxxers, flat earthers, climate change deniers, and you can already see how faith and belief affect science, how people treat science. One of my favorite examples of this is in the Shira Calpurnia books, which are written by Matthew Ferreira. I really recommend these books because they portray the setting in a different light. They rely on characters that are not examples of what you would see in the tabletop game, like arbitrators, which are basically like cops, or more like judges from Judge Dredd, really. And there is a scene in one of these books where the protagonist goes to a new planet and she's vaccinated. But the vaccination process is treated like this huge ritual. She has to do things that, like praying and stuff, but all the things that she does are things that you would do when you're getting vaccinated for real, like for traveling for a different country. And I think it's a really neat scene. It's a really good example of how, you know, in a dystopian era, technology is no longer treated like, just something everybody understands, but like it's religion, essentially, because that's how it kind of is now. People put their faith in, how things work. They expect them to work, and when they don't think about it from a mechanical. Ooh, getting real comfy. From a mechanical aspect, they think about it from how they are personally frustrated, by these things. You kick cars, you know, blow on cartridges before you put them in. There's all kinds of little, pseudo religious things we already do with our technology that it's not a big step to assume that, this is how it would go if like some huge catastrophe hit and we basically lost all understanding of science. You have to keep in mind that for the vast majority of Imperium citizens, nobody has a public education. You're basically raised to, either, fight in the Imperial Guard or do something that benefits the overall society in one way, basically do one task, and that's it. You don't need to know how to uh, build something or understand, basic scientific principles. It's just not necessary for your part in participating in imperial society. So yeah, I think a really good way of telling a good 40k book from a bad 40k book, well, I won't want to say bad because, despite having read the whole range of Black Library's publications, even the stuff that I don't like, I still enjoyed reading, but I guess I will rephrase that and say a more interesting 40k book from a less interesting 40k book is how science is treated, how technology is treated. If you read a novel, for example, and the tech priest and ninja seers are acting basically like mechanics, it's not as interesting. It's kind of a shortcut, to fast track, the other action going on in the story. If you read a book and you see that, you know, tech priests are praying to, machines to make things work, or, you know, doing rites to, you know, operate something. Or my favorite binary is this like holy language the Inquisition's constantly trying to understand, because they think it's this just key to unlocking the secrets of the Adeptus Mechanicus. I think you're on track to read a pretty good novel. So, yeah, I think, like I said, the Shira Calpurnia books by Matthew Ferreira are really good. I don't remember what they're exactly called. The Priests of Mars, Gods of Mars series by Graham McNeil, Lords of Mars, they might be called. Those are pretty good. Of course, Titanicus by Dan Abnett is really good for this. You know, most of the books that focus specifically on the Adeptus Mechanicus tend to do this well. Typically, your Space Marine novels, your Imperial Guard novels don't really put as much focus on it. There are exceptions. I want to say The Emperor's Gift by Aaron Dembski Bowden treats tech marines with kind of a reverence. But generally, in those kinds of books, you don't see as much of a focus on the religious functions of the Adeptus Mechanicus. So I think that's definitely one of my favorite parts of the lore. And I want to make this video longer, but this is actually kind of uncomfortable, me holding my phone like this while continuing to rub my cat's belly. I am going to get up and show you my cat's face so you can see how cute he is. But I might try doing more videos like this where I talk about 40k lore and involve my cats somehow, because Cheese and Crackers are very adorable. They're good cats. Well, Cheese is a good cat. Crackers is a terrible cat. We have Goofus and Gallant basically for cats. Cheese is the best cat. Crackers, whatever. But let me just show you Cheese up close and personal. Hey, buddy, right back down. There you go. Look at that. Why couldn't you do this the entire time I was trying to get you to do this? I guess it was because you were comfortable. Anyway, Cheese is used to me talking about 40k a lot because I'm a huge nerd. But as you can see, I've been rubbing his belly for about 7 minutes, and this is his favorite thing. Just really likes it. He'll fall asleep to it, and I hope you like this video. I hope it makes a lot of sense. Again, as I've said before in my previous videos, these aren't going to be very good, professionally speaking, because I'm just a dude with a phone, and that's how I'm going to continue to do this. So, like this video, or don't, that's cool too. But thanks for watching.